Good evening. This is Eric and Lifestyles with Eric. Happy Wednesday, hump day, off quarantine, steadily getting back in, excuse me, steadily getting back into the work field and work world. And it's a little different, but I'm handling it and I'm glad I'm back to work. And I hope everybody else is back to work and still has their jobs and is able to support their family. And I also hope everybody's being healthy, staying safe stay safe as can be without being paranoid. Remember, don't wear this in the car. Hey Sarah, what's going on? Um, got some troubling news. Oh, did you? Okay, cool. Um, got some troubling. Hey, Angela, got some troubling news about. Uh, well, this is how I wanted to start off. Let's just say this. I want to start off just as how I want to start off today. So, I want to go. Want to start off like this. George Floyd, 46, 2020. Philando Castillo, 32, 2016. Walter Scott, 50, 2017. Eric Garner, 44, 2014. Michael Brown Jr., 18 years old when he was killed. Aaron Bailey from Indianapolis, Indiana, killed at 45 years old in 2017. That's how I wanted to start off. And these are unarmed black men or African American or whatever, however you feel you are, if that's what you are. Hey Levi, what's going on? What happened? What's up? How you doing? Um, just wanted to talk about the unarmed black men that are being killed on a daily basis when it's not being videotaped. And I'm a black man, as you can see, and I'm just getting a little fed up. And my trust with the police force and law enforcement is just going out the door now. Um, Unfortunately, one bad cop is making all police look bad right now. There's so many different instances where police are killing unarmed black men in different states around the country. Excuse me, something is really in my eye, and it's troubling. The fortunate thing is that yes, this latest incident was videotaped by a passerby, which was a good thing. But we all know that a lot of stuff's videotaped, and the police aren't even found guilty of anything. Hey, Unique Thoughts, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. We're talking about the unarmed black man that was killed, George Floyd in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they're doing a lot of rioting right now. Actually, I just watched it on the news where they were setting fires to some buildings and things like that. And I think it's time for a little radicalness. I think it's time for people to stand up for what they believe in. And sometimes, unfortunately, you have to destroy things for somebody to wake up and say, look, why are these people destroying things? What's going on? What's the underlying issue? Why do most of the time, I'll say, white cops shoot unarmed African American or black men when they're either handcuffed or running away? It just doesn't make any sense. Hey, Robin, when you're running away, you're not running towards the police. You're not running towards a civilian, because if you're running towards somebody, you're running at them. If you're running away, you're running away from them. You're not in threat or endangering somebody when you're running towards them. So that's about when you're running from a cop. Okay. But this guy wasn't running from anybody. George Floyd, 46 years old. I guess evidently he was yeah, Levi, definitely. I guess evidently he had a $20 bill or a counterfeit $20 bill, and I guess he was trying to pass it at a store in Minneapolis. And the guy was sitting in his truck or standing at by the building waiting. I don't know if he was waiting on the cops or whatever, but he didn't run. So didn't look like he was resisting arrest. So before the officer that killed him initially came. I mean, before he got to him, the guy was, he was they handcuffed him. He wasn't, uh, fighting or doing anything crazy. So I'm just trying to figure out if that was the officer's intent, was to kill this man. I mean, seems like that was his intent. I could just see the way, when he had his knee on his neck. What'd you say, Sarah? I'm sorry. Unique, definitely agree. Um, Sarah said he said his whole body hurt, that he, because of lack of oxygen. I am sick of those disgusting pigs. I'm sick of it too. We need law enforcement to an extent, and I respect authority, but or I respect authority to an extent. I know how to handle authority. I know how to present myself, but that's neither here nor there. They're to protect and serve us. We pay their salaries. It doesn't make any sense. Um, I don't know. I'm flabbergasted that this is happening at least once a year. I mean, hey Chris, what's going on, man? How you doing? Thanks for coming in. We're talking about police brutality, basically, unarmed black men or African American men being killed by cops. It's crazy. It- you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's nuts, and we've got to get this right. We've got to get this right. One bad cop is starting to make all cops look bad. Although, again, I respect authority, but one bad cop is making all cops look bad now, and it's just because it's happening regularly. And what about when we don't hear about it? That's the thing. What about when we don't get it on video? We don't know how many people, not say people, how many African American or black men that are being killed on a daily basis without video, because that's what we're talking about tonight, because that seems to be the issue. And we're not talking about people that put themselves in a certain predicament, because you still don't deserve to be killed. That's the thing. um, would you say, Chris, that should never happen? Now that mess, it is, definitely, Chris, definitely. I think we need to definitely do a psychological view of our police officers, and make sure that they don't have any hatred towards other races before we give them a badge and a gun, because it seems that some of these guys may have some racist views that we may not know about. So what I'm hearing is that the cop that killed George Floyd is, I'm heard he had a hat on, a prior picture they found with make America white again or something like that. So, people just have to admit, people are still racist. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but people are still racist. If you aren't, that's awesome. And spread the love. Hey, Sherry, welcome to the chat. Would you say, Sarah, that man was bleeding from his head and pissing on himself? He was dying. Absolutely. 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 We've got to do better. We've got to hire better police officers. We've got to do better. This is I don't know. This is just ridiculous. And I need some water. Hold on just a second. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Oh, sorry. Dry throat. Would you say, Unique? As soon as they hold these officers accountable, these things will change. You know, I agree. Um, but they have to definitely hold them accountable. I believe Walter Scott. So the guy that was killed down, I believe, South Carolina, Walter Scott. Now, the police officer that killed him was convicted, which is different. And I think he was only given 15 to 20 years, but at least he was given some time, because normally police officers aren't charged with anything. So that's the thing. I mean, um, or normally in this case, they were fired immediately. And we know that normally doesn't happen. Normally, cops are suspended with pay. That's normally how it goes until the ongoing investigation goes on. But I guess since the FBI is stepping into this, it's a criminal investigation going on right now. And it needs to be, because that was absolutely freaking murder. Bottom line. Hands down murder. And if somebody says it wasn't, hey, it is what it is. That's your opinion. Would you say, Levi, we gotta get shit back intact to yep, and stop knocking each other off. Then we'll get and have some justice. That's true, and that's true. Levi, I don't really believe in black on black crime because it's the environment that you're in anyway. So if you're around all black people, you're going to kill black people. They don't say that with white people or any other races. When white people kill white people, that's just it is what it is. So yeah, you're right. We've got to get it together with ourselves too. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I do. I do. It was at least 15 minutes. Wow. Okay. He was he was compliant. He was compliant. I mean, he wasn't resisting, he wasn't fighting. I didn't see any movement like he was like I said, resisting. He wasn't fighting back. So it just looks like that officer really had a purpose to kill that man. And it really pisses me the freak off. I mean, I'm so upset because I'm sick and tired of arrogant officers doing this to people like us that are paying their fucking salaries. I'm trying not to cuss because I'm fucking upset. I'm trying not to freak out about this. But enough's enough. Enough is enough. I mean, when is this going to stop? And I send my condolences out to his family, to the Floyd family, to George Floyd's family. I send my condolences out. Um, that man didn't deserve to die. He could have went to jail. And hell, who knows that he even knew that he had a fake $20 bill? Who knows? Maybe that's why he stood there and waited. He could have ran. That's what's crazy. I have seen the black officers in cities like Chicago do this. True. Here's the thing about that. You don't go over the blue line, black or white. So see, they can black, white, Chinese, whatever race you are. When you're a cop, you're over civilians anyway, and so they stick together like a gang. Okay, so yes, they can be buttholes too, but we're talking about statistics. Statistic wise, more white officers kill African American young men, and it's even normally a certain age group that they kill. So that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Uh, he wasn't scared. Okay, okay. Robin said, "Hell, they could have used a stun gun, but stunning. He wasn't even he. In this case, Robin, he didn't even need to get stunned because he wasn't resisting. He wasn't resisting. Um, yeah. Anyone who is afraid for their life doesn't put their hands in their pockets. Hmm. Everybody does what they do, Robin. I mean, I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm 48, getting ready to be 48, and I know exactly what to do when I'm um pulled over by the police officers or pulled over by police. I know what to do if I was approached by a cop. Um, I can't explain why people do what they do. Everybody doesn't do everything correctly. They just don't deserve to get killed unless you see them reaching for something. Now, reaching in your pockets, uh, um, let me see. A career police officer can tell when there's a gun in somebody's pocket, I would think. But if not, maybe then I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, no, the cop. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry, Sarah. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And he was handcuffed, so wrong for them doing that. Yeah, Chris. I mean, dude, he was handcuffed. So what threat did he did he possess? What threat? What threat? It doesn't. What threat was he going to give? Handcuffed behind his back. What could he do? They didn't need to stun him. They just needed to pick him up and put him in the police car if that's what you were going to do, and not put your knee on his neck until he couldn't breathe anymore. And it's funny, but I bet he knew exactly what he was doing to kill that man. What'd you say, Unique? Let's not forget George was in cuffs when yeah, he was in cuffs. Absolutely, Unique. Absolutely. Hey man, I can't watch it again, Levi, honestly. Um, I can't watch it again. It's a little emotional because you're seeing the life getting taken out of somebody that pretty much didn't do that much to deserve that. No, fuck that. He didn't deserve to be killed at all. Okay. I'm sugarcoating this. The man didn't deserve to be killed. Bottom line. They were wrong. That's why they were fired immediately. And again, that normally doesn't happen around our country, especially in Indianapolis. Cops don't get fired. They just get suspended with pay. That's it. That's it. That's it. So it's just messed up. And I just like I said, I just wish that we would evaluate police officers a little bit more, black, white, whatever race they are, and make sure they don't have anything against any other race. We've got to make sure of this. If there's any suspicion that they have anything against any other race, you're not getting hired, buddy. Be a security guard at Walmart, okay? That's the only place they can use you, or at a warehouse or something like that. But we don't need these guys to be protect and serve us. They're not protecting and serving us. They're killing us. That's what they're and serving themselves. That's what they're doing. They're killing us. Put him in a police car. All they had to do. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And Sarah said they put the weight. Yeah, he put his weight down with his knee on purpose to kill him. That was done on purpose. That was done on purpose. You could see it in his face. He was enjoying killing that man. He was enjoying it. And I hope he rots in fucking hell. Because I pay my taxes. I work every day and I pay my taxes for these fucking idiots that carry freaking guns and they can drive as fast as they want. They can sell drugs. They can take money from drug dealers. They can shoot and kill people whenever they want. And they can say, oh, I feel threatened for my life. Oh my God, he was going to hurt me. And then they get off. It happens every time. It happens every time. The last B. They are saying the police is shooting people right now. Wow. Um, I said that they're rioting and they are starting fires and stuff like that. So I hope they're not shooting people. I hope that's not true. As long as the people aren't trying to hurt the police. Now I can understand being upset, busting bottles, breaking things, but not if you try to shoot at if you throw something at them, they might try to shoot and kill you, possibly. Hey, Tracy, we're talking about the police violence, shooting unarmed black men, African American men, and that's pretty much the topic tonight. I really like to talk about positive things, but tonight I had to speak on this. I'm really getting tired of us being killed, us black men being killed when we're not, you know, in that much of shit that to be killed or threatening a police officer's life, but yet we're killed. We really got to be like super careful, or we're dead. We're dead. We got to be like super careful. Do you know how that feels? Every time I get in the car, that I have to be like extra careful with everything I do. Other people can't feel the same thing, and it's not your fault. I'm not blaming another race. All I'm saying is that there are things that you will never get and understand, and it's absolutely not your fault because you weren't born that way. That's not your fault. It is what it is. It is what it is. I have to walk a fine line. My sons have to walk a fine line. We have to make sure we think our way through everything we do, or by the police. You never know, right? Peace, Levi. Thank you for coming in the chat, man. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, dude. We really appreciate you, man. Thank you. The last B. Someone was doing a live and in the place of starting a shooting. Listen, they are telling me that right now They are cutting all live streams in that place. It's urgent. Wow. Wow. That's wow. Hey Gwendolyn, how are you? And thanks for coming in. We're talking about police killing and shooting unarmed black men, African and American men. But I do know how it feels as a mother. I fear for my son's life. Now, is your son biracial, if I can ask, Sarah? Be- because, the one thing I can say is that, again, certain things aren't your fault because you can't help the race you are. White men don't have to worry about the same things black men do. It's not their faults, but it's the truth. White police officers, hey George, white police officers view white civilians as they are. This because that's just but they view African American and black men and women differently. We're lower. We're under here. So that's one of the reasons why they want to kill us because they don't feel that they're looking at themselves. So we couldn't be their brother or sister. We're just anybody. So that's a lot of times where our respect, why we don't have the same amount as respect for authority as not respect, trust. That's the word I'm looking for. Black people don't have the same amount of trust as white people do with police officers because they don't get treated the same way when they do the exact same crime. Again, I'm not blaming white people. That's not your fault. You can't help what you were born. But these are the things that we have to go through. Your would you say, Sarah, your son doesn't look white? Okay, well, if he looks like he's hell, let's just say Hispanic. My nephews are biracial, although they look Hispanic. So they live in Arizona, and so they could be somebody would think that they were Hispanic. So I understand, and they could get somebody could bother them for no reason either. So yeah. They are filed. Yeah, and whatever the president says, people do. And remember, he said some racist people they're good people too sometimes on both sides. I remember he said that. So yeah. Oh, he's biracial. Okay, okay, okay. And yes, you tell him never ask the question. Let the police ask the question. Never run from the police. When he gets pulled over, don't say anything. Keep his hands on the steering wheel, and that's it. Let them do the talking. That's it. Let them do the talking. But yeah, I don't know. I just hope that one of these days we are at one and we can all get along. Rodney King said it best a long time ago. Can't we all just get along? Can't we just coexist together? I mean, these cities are just going crazy now. I mean, things are just going everything is just going crazy in different states now. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I have been in. That's good, Sarah. You keep on doing it. You keep on doing it. And tell him to keep it in his pants too. No baby mamas. I tell all young guys that if I could go backwards, my kids aren't mistakes, but I've made some not so good decisions when I was young. And I like to tell every young guy, don't do the same things that I did so that you can make your life better when you get older. And then you don't have to worry about getting a stimulus check or not getting one. Okay. All right. Uh, we lived in a small town in Wisconsin and we lived on the south side of Chicago, which is definitely different. It's no different anywhere you go. Well, you're right and you're wrong. It's different as far as the violence is different in Chicago. We all know that. Um, Police can be the same all around the world, though. Well, all around the country. True, true. That's true. And they look at us all the same. So, it is what it is. Gwendolyn, I think they can ask questions as long as it's done with respect. Well, you're not supposed to question authority. You can. But a lot of times when you do that, they get a little more aggressive with you because they want to do all the question answer. I mean, they want to ask all the questions. Normally, when they pull you over, it's license, registration. Do you know why I pulled you over? You don't have to go off in a tirade and say, "Why'd you pull me over?" This and that. You don't have to say any of that. Normally, they'll tell you why. They'll tell you why. Yeah, you're right, Sarah. It's no different from anywhere with the police. You're right. That would be nice, and the world could not. Would you say, Chris, that would be nice, and the world could do that? Can't all just get along? Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true, Chris. I don't know, man. It sounds good, but again, we all have to be honest. We all have different views on different things. We have had different prejudices. I'm sure we all have, but you gotta realize that we're all different. We're all different, yet we're all the same. Um, but we all have to walk in each other's shoes sometimes, if you can, and realize the things that other people go through that you rarely go through and wonder why we complain about it so much. It's the reason why Colin Kaepernick can't play football anymore for police violence. That's the only reason why he took a knee. He didn't take a knee because he was disrespecting our country. I have a daughter in the Navy, and she's not disrespected by that. So I'm very proud and I'm a very patriotic person. So that's definitely not it. It's for police violence against Black and Latino or brown men. It's got to stop at some point. Yes, Robin, our blood runs red, and that's all of us. And we all come from the Creator, but He made us different for reasons. And that is okay. It's okay to be different, but we also need to love one another. That's the deal. George, the only thing that white power fears is when people of color fight back for what they believe in. Yeah, that is true. You're right. You're right. Um, you're right. You're right. I agree, George. I'm just sick over this. I am tired of having white privilege. I am sick of skin color being an issue of this country. Robin, there's nothing you can do about that. It's not your fault you're white. My sister's biracial. My adopted dad is white. My last name is a white last name. The only dad I know his dad is white. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah. So I've got a white other side of a family, and I get along with everybody. I'm very pro-black because that's what I am, but I also love everybody and I can get along and hold a conversation with anybody, any race. But I don't like to see injustices for for the people that I represent, and that's African American or Black people. I don't like to see the injustice. I'm tired of that. That's all I'm saying. I'm just tired of the injustice. I'm tired of being going in an elevator and a woman clutching her purse, and I have on my work uniform, and this is a white woman. I'm tired of when I go in the store, people are watching me, but they're not watching the white people. But so again, these are the things that white people don't have to go through. That again, Sarah, it's not your fault. It's not your fault what race you are. You just have to make it. What you have to do is make your race better. That's it. That's it. Make you. I'm trying to make my race better. I'm trying to make people like me do better so that they don't have to go through these things. Because sometimes we can cause things with an action to a reaction. So I get that too. I get that too. Some things we do can cause something to blow up to something that we didn't want, and it's all our fault. So I get that. Chris said, Sarah, they be like the many years I believe people are going to be like that. Yeah, I'm tired of people not getting it. I can only do my part to make the race better. That's right. And that's it. You keep doing your part, Sarah. You can't change the world. Although sometimes I think I can. Eric can't change the world either. I can only do my part. And I will continue to do it. Spread love, not hate, and also get my point across and say what's on my mind because I'm not afraid to speak. And I just want everybody to know that because I speak what's on my mind and say my opinions does not mean I'm a hater because I don't agree with everything everybody does. And I think that we're living in a world like that now where if you don't agree with someone, you're a hater automatically. and I'm not. And I just want everybody to know that Eric's not a hater because I have my own personal opinions on things. But Sarah, you keep doing what you're doing, and we're proud of you for doing what you're doing. I deleted about 30 people from my Facebook because post Black Lives Matter, because I post Black Lives Matter post, people say all lives matter, and they don't get it. That's the thing. They don't get it. They'll say all lives matter or cops lives matter, but we know cops and civilians are considered different people. Once you're a police officer, you're not considered a civilian anymore. We're lower than civilians are lower than police officers. So, yeah, everybody's life matters, but right now we're talking about Black lives matter because we're the ones that seem to be getting picked off every day, but then everything's not on video. That's all. Everything's not on video. This was on video, but remember, Philando Castile was on video. He got killed on Facebook Live in front of his daughter in the passenger seat. Didn't do anything wrong. The officer asked him for his license or whatever, and he wasn't driving. He asked him, did he have a weapon? I think he said, yeah, but I have a gun permit to carry. He asked him to get his license. When he reached, he shot and killed him. Boom, 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 boom. Right in front of his little girl and his kid's mom. So being this color right here is, man, I'm proud, yet I wear it with a badge of honor, but because I can't help what I am, and but I tell you, sometimes no, on a weekly basis, I can feel the color I am without anybody telling me, you black son of a bitch. I just know it. I just know it. And I'm just laughing that off because I'm proud of who I am and I'm proud of what the Lord made me. And everybody should be proud of who they are. But just make sure you don't spread hate, spread love. That's it. Just spread love. And I agree with you, Tracy. I agree. Hashtag all lives matter when Black lives matter, which is we're the minority. So why don't we matter? Enough said. Guys, thanks for coming in the chat. I just want to vent a little bit, get this off my chest. This is really bothering me. This video is bothering me. We're going to come back and talk about some more things. I'll have some updates. We'll see tomorrow or the next day what they did as far as the rioting is concerned, what they destroyed, what happened. Hopefully, no more lives are lost. This is crazy. What'd you say, George? You're right. Sad thing is, it couldn't even come up with the original phrase "Black Lives Matter." Came from Black people, and now they use our words. Get it off your chest. It's bothering us all. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks. Thanks. I think we're all agreeing to this. The same as the Ahmaud Arbery case down in Georgia. Um, White people are upset about that too. Everybody should be upset. The case in New York where the lady called the cops on a guy that was freaking bird watching. He was minding his own business, and all he did. I'm sorry, my grandmother's Gwendolyn. Thanks for asking. She's doing okay so far. So I'm just thanking everybody for my family here to keep her in your prayers, and I really appreciate you. I do. I really appreciate you. But yeah, this lady called the cops on this guy in Central Park in New York. He was bird watching. She didn't have her dog on a leash, and he had asked her to could she put her dog on a leash, or he'd call the cops, I guess. And she didn't want to do that, so she called the cops and said that the man was attacking her and lying, and she was only calling the police basically because he was Black. Sarah, sometimes I am too. And I'm gonna tell you what's really embarrassing and what I really hate. And I'll tell you, this is personal. This is really personal. So when I'm watching the news and I see when I see somebody committing a bad crime, you know what I say? I hope they weren't Black. I can't stop the crime. The crime's already committed. But I always say I hope they weren't Black. You know why? Because I'm embarrassed too. And I know that if it's a horrific crime, they're gonna look at me like I did it. Just like when O.J. Simpson was found not guilty in '94, they looked at me like I was his son or something. I got treated really weird back in those days because of O.J. Simpson being not convicted. So being black is something else. But again, I'm just proud of my race. Everybody should be proud of what they are, but just try to spread love, not hate. And that's it. Yeah, she did get fired. That's what she gets. She is a silly biatch. I agree. That's what she gets. And he wasn't doing anything wrong, anything at all, nothing. Would you say, George? People, please shop at Black owned businesses. Build up our communities by keeping Black hard earned money within our own communities. That's where segregation and integration came in. When we were just to ourselves, we had to have our own banks, we had to have our own businesses, restaurants, barbershops. But when they opened it up and let us mix with everybody else, we lost all of that for some reason. So, for some reason, certain things worked for us back in the '60s and '50s that now they're not working for us. So yes, George, I agree with you. Support black owned businesses, everybody, and start opening up black owned businesses. Really, seriously. She lost her job saying that cut. Yeah, yeah, Gwendolyn, that's her fault. That's her fault. That is her fault. And I bet you she regrets that. With so many instances of that last year, everybody calling police on people because they were black. Whether you were selling water, trying to get into your apartment, at the swimming pool where you live, just trying to sunbathe or whatever. I mean, people were just calling the cops on black people for nothing all last year. So it hasn't happened this much since the administration that we're in now. I mean, I just think that more things are going on that have been going on. But like I said, guys, I just wanted to get in a quick venting session for everybody. Express yourselves. Tell me how you feel. And I wanted to tell you how I felt about this police brutality, police shootings, and that I'm tired of it. Um, but I'm going to get out of here. I'm not going to keep closing. Love you all. Appreciate you coming into it live. Thanks for joining Lifestyles with Eric. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Hit that thumbs up. I'll be back at you. Hey, Shirley, I'll be back at you with another video, and we'll be talking some updates. Okay. All righty. Take care, everybody. All righty. Love you all.